Hi there, welcome back. Pete and Grada from the Purple House in Tasmania. Today we have a special episode where Peter talks about looking under the bonnet of your car. It's called a full health audit. Now, if you've been in business, you know that every half year you need to do a complete business audit. But our body is in business of keeping us alive, and we sometimes need to allow somebody to come in and audit what goes well in your body and where you need a helping hand. So this is what Pete and Caleb specialize in at the Purple House. So today, do you want to talk a little bit?
Yeah. You may have noticed that leaves are starting to fall, that autumn's begun, and it's not only the world goes through phases, but our body also goes through phases, particularly our cells. We're made up of trillions of cells, and that we ideally would be living on cellular energy. I've had people come to me time and time again just feeling exhausted and totally no energy.
Even I remember that lady in a wheelchair one time.
Yeah, there was one woman was wheeled in a wheelchair and
she had no energy.
She got up. I found that her cell membranes were not closing down at night time. Normally they open during the day and close at night, just like a flower opens when the sun comes up and closes when it goes down again. So we're in a cycle. Our cell membranes are in a day and night cycle, not like autumn and spring and summer and whatever, but we're in a night and day cycle. You've heard of the circadian rhythm where that's our cell membranes. They become more permeable through the day, and we use the energy that they've reproduced overnight. And then when the sun goes down, they become less permeable or close up a bit and restore themselves and rebuild energy for the next day. Now, if that doesn't happen, they can be too closed, they can be too open. And if that doesn't happen, then we're lacking energy.
We start to suffer. So that lady, do you want to go back to the lady in the wheelchair?
Well, she came in a wheelchair and her cell membranes were totally
stuck
in a catabolic state, what we call a catabolic state. She was breaking down all the time. And the cells weren't making energy at all. Anyway,
she ran out of gas bottles here.
She gave herself the right fats because our cell membranes, they are totally made of the fats we eat, and we've been told over the years that fats are bad for us, so people stopped eating fats.
Yeah.
They totally did, and particularly good saturated fats, which her cell membranes needed. Now, she got up and walked and had, some really good years
as an active person.
As an active person in the community. We met her a few years later watching her grandson play basketball. We were watching.
Yeah, that was amazing, wasn't it?
And
so you've had many stories like that, haven't you?
Well, there's other people who have been so exhausted, they sleep well, they sleep soundly, and
they wake up
and they're exhausted.
They feel like they've been playing tennis all night.
They just haven't got any energy, and their cell membranes are too close all the time. They might wake up with a full bladder during the night, and their body's getting rid of the water that's meant to be in the cells but remains in the bloodstream. Now, again, the cell membranes are made up of a mixture of saturated and unsaturated fats, and in the full health audit, I do a test that determines whether your cell membranes are too open or too closed. And some people who have been too open have been running on empty for so long, and they've also used up what we call the core energy of the body. And one woman said, I'm a different person, I'm evil. Her personality had changed. But it was
that was a problem that she came to you with.
Yeah.
She was tired, exhausted, and
she was snappy and
she didn't recognize herself.
Right. Anyway, it was only 3 or 4 weeks and she was back to her normal self. and sleeping soundly at night and making energy, and yeah, she was good. And it's...
So we're actually doing this episode today because the full health audit, in our opinion, is absolutely necessary for everyone. Everyone really needs at least once a year do a complete full health audit. How we do them at the Purple House. We learned all this information in Chicago back in 2009 when I was recovering from a serious truck accident and I had to learn to walk again. And different parts of my body and systems I knew in my heart of hearts, they weren't kicking in as well as they should have been. So while we were in America, we discovered that I tend to be too anabolic. Peter tends to be too catabolic, which made him crabby a lot. That's what he was talking about.
We were.
So we, as couples, we're opposite. So that's also interesting because you can take the same diet, the same lifestyle, but it might be good for one person, but not so ideal for the other person. So Pete can determine all of that with the testing, and Caleb as well. It's very individualized testing. You can ask questions.
Yeah, I turn my food to energy a lot slower than Grada as well, and I could have a good breakfast and go to Hobart from here. It takes 3 hours, and come halfway back home and think, oh, perhaps I should have something to eat. Whereas Grada's cursing me because we're passing every coffee shop on the way down, let alone on the way back, because she's used her energy.
I'm a fast metabolizer.
Fast metabolizer. I'm a slow one. So we're all of us are totally different.
I want to say, Peter's tested many people in the district, right? So it's been a very popular, extremely helpful session. That's why lots of people are recommending it to friends and family. But sometimes we find that certain families tend to be anabolic and other families tend to be more catabolic. So this is also something that can be managed over time, right? Because we have specific supplements, which are not expensive, by the way, at all. Like for a minimal charge compared to what other people do, you can get all 4 wheels on the road. So there are people in Devonport and close by Ulverston and in the Northwest who come to us regularly to have their health tweaked, to see if the cars are still on the road. And it is like, I will probably never be catabolic and Pete will probably never become anabolic.
But often people become balanced again.
It's about finding the balance.
They have been without a set of nutrients for so long that they have become totally one way or the other.
And it's really interesting also for Pete and me with our knowledge now. We've tested our kids, of course, and we know some of the children are in their metabolism more like Pete and others are more like Grada, which really sums up a lot of their behaviors too. That helps you to understand each other. And we know that different children need different types of foods to be in their peak performance, because it's all about how to make the most out of your body that you've been given, right? Because everyone is different. You are completely individual and different to your neighbor, your husband, or your child even. So everyone needs an individualized treatment, and that's what we've been specializing in now for getting close to 20 years already, right? Because 2009, it's nearly 20 years ago, give or take a few years, with a lot of success, and people have really benefited from it. So today we wanted to talk about it again. Also the autumn leaves really made us think about all the different seasons. So the body goes through different seasons, as we know, and different energies have an effect on you. But the most powerful rhythm that our body is confined to, really, that orders us around, is the day and night rhythm. So at night, the body needs to close down and it needs to rebuild its energy stores. And then during the day, it needs to be able to let that go. Like at night, the highway closes, and during the day, the highways are open. That makes sense, doesn't it? Like energy goes in and out of the cell all day long. So some people literally go through life feeling jet lagged or exhausted, and all types of problems. And the medical tests, of course, won't pick up on this because there's no medical test for it, right? Medical tests are useful for other things, but not for this.
Chronic fatigue syndrome.
That's right. All the things that you might be going through, low energy in particular, feeling crabby, not recognizing self, bloated, putting on weight, feels like as if you're living in an alien body, it's not responding to you anymore. And this applies to children as well. Pete and Caleb can take a look under the bonnet of your car, check out everything, and restore the balance again.
I had one little boy brought to me. He had never been well all his life. He had a cold nearly all his life, and the medical world said he had immune deficiency syndrome, and they wanted him to go on antibiotics all winter. And someone suggested the mum bring him to us, and I did the set of tests on his urine and saliva. I'm not sure whether I looked at his lobe and dried blood, but did the tests, and he was what we call very anabolic. And I recommended a few supplements that it was, he went through winter with his parents and his sister having a really bad flu.
But he didn't.
He didn't get it, and he didn't go on the antibiotics.
And his pediatrician was absolutely surprised and gobsmacked.
He said, well, keep on doing what you're doing.
I know, he was a great doctor.
Yeah,
and he's strong and healthy now, right? So everyone's life can be turned around when you look for the right avenues for the right answers. So we're open Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Come and pick our brain. Come and have a lovely meal here in the Purple House Cafe. We also have lots of supplements in our online shop. We only stock products that work, right? And so there's also free ebooks and many free resources there that you can spend all Easter reading if you want to, or looking at videos.
But I do really need to test things
properly
before you start.
Yeah, but there's supplements. I'm talking about magnesium, things that everyone needs, right? Everyone needs enzymes, everyone needs magnesium. Pretty much in today's world, we all need mineral boosts and all the rest. So, but then if you go into more specialized areas, you do need full health, or you need engineers.
Yeah, there are some things everyone needs, which we've got stocks of.
That's right. So go ahead and check out the online shop, which is also like a real shop in reality. People are here, like we have lovely receptionists who looks after you when you come Wednesday, Thursday and Friday. If you have any questions, please do reach out to us. We can help you. We will also say, like, if you're outside our scope, we don't waste your time and money. Thank you for listening and being part of our community. Have a wonderful Easter.
Have a good Easter. Bye.
And we'll talk to you soon. Bye.